All right. We are up and running and live. Let me get everything loaded up for the stream and we will jump back into Sunbreak. Sound should be good. Everything else looks like it's good to go. Alright. Well, it has been a hot minute since I streamed Sunbreak. I've been playing it a decent amount offline. So let's take stock of what we're doing here. And kind of come up with a plan for what I want to do in today's stream.
How are things?
Hey, Red Dragon's here, and Iconic. What's up, folks? How you doing this Sunday afternoon? Remember what day it is? Hope everyone is doing well. Welcome, welcome. Red Dragon says, hunt some monsters. Is a good plan. We will hunt all the monsters, except for the final boss. I don't really want to spoil people who haven't played Sunbreak yet. We might do some progression, but I'm at a point in the post-game where it takes a while for new things to open up because you have to raise your hunter rank. So instead I want to sort of focus on some fights that we've seen before and kind of farm. We might be doing some repetitive stuff here, but I'll try and mix it up every couple hunts. Iconic says, I'm good, just killing time. I'll go for dinner for your dad's birthday. Ah, nice. What kind of food are you going out for? Iconic says, how are you? I'm good. I did not wake up right before the stream, so I was able to eat a light lunch and get everything prepped and not have to scramble at top speed to get ready for the stream, so I'm good. Iconic says sushi and buffet. Oh, nice. What is your favorite type of sushi, Iconic? I don't think we've ever talked about it before. And Sour Lad's here. What's up, Sour? How are you doing? Hope your Sunday's going well. Okay.
Alright, let's make it happen.
So one of the things I'm trying to do in the post-game, we haven't gotten fully unlocked into the post-game. There's a tier of weapons that I can't craft because I need some bits from these afflicted monsters. Without getting too deep into spoiler territory, the endgame tier of difficulty for the monsters is this afflicted state. Maybe we can look at that a little bit later. But they drop certain unique parts that are used to max out weapons in this tier, rarity 10.
To good use. I can swing whatever you need.
And a couple of the lower tier ones we could max out if we get enough of these afflicted scales. But I'm not going to worry too much about that at this point. I'm trying to get the second to last tier for the weapons that I want. And then as I do progression, we'll unlock these final ones. So for Lance, this is with the tree I'm looking at now, I like to build an element for each type of Lance, just because it's good to kind of pair up against monster weaknesses. Right now, I've got 2 dragon type Lances for element. Malzino's and the one I'm using now, which is the final boss. I won't linger too long on that screen in case people don't want to be spoiled. Iconic says, I don't know, the place we're going to just has random selection for you, so I never learn the names. Ah, I see. I'm a big fan of sushi, so I always like asking people what they like to eat. So let's see, we have dragon covered, water for Mizitsune. We need thunder, which I was working on for Astalos. We need ice, which requires Kushalada or a bits way down here. Should require a gem. The high rank gem, which is eluding me, is very frustrating. We don't have the final tier for elders. That's probably going to be much later in the game. And the one I've been struggling to build because there's not a lot of options is fire. Let's go. Hey, Core Break's here. I didn't look at my notifications to see what alert that was. Thanks for the bits, Core. Core says monstering those hunts. We will hunter all the monsters. Hope you're doing well this Sunday, Core. It should be relatively chill while I try not to fail too bad at some of these higher level targets. So I do need a fire element lance. It's a bunch of things I want to kill are weak to fire. However, I need a rare drop from Master Rank, which is the mantle. And Rathalos is not my favorite target, but I figured we'd do some practice with Lance, because, again, I do need that mantle, and it might take a while to get, especially since there's 2 Rathalos fire weapons I want to make. One for Lance, and one for Sword and Shield. So what we'll do is we can work on some Rathalos hunts to warm up, and I'll probably start rotating things through, just so we're not, hunting the same target for 4 hours. I could do that, but I get the feeling people don't want to see me hunt the same target over and over and over again.
I hope we can talk again soon.
Alright, we need the quest.
I have faith that you will fulfill your duty. Please select the quest that best suits you.
King of the Crumbling Castle.
Best of luck.
It's Rathalos in the Citadel. I'm gonna need to go back and do some more of these Dongo quests. I still don't have them all unlocked. Let's see.
Time to get going.
That should be good enough. This lance I'm using is the one from the final boss I mentioned earlier. It's like a big tusk, and the inside has this kind of glowing effect, which is pretty neat. I see Iconic Redeem Day Hydrate. I will take a swig of Gafuel. Alright, let's hit it.
Ready to go. Ride like the wind.
Let's see, Core Breakers redeemed a stretch at the beginning. Alright. Me joints. Alright, where are you? Up in 4? 4. I was practicing this fight a little bit yesterday with Sword and Shield. Now I get to do it with the Lance, which should be a bit safer since Lance is a pretty good defensive weapon. It's also not as mobile. Try to get the tail if we get some open shots on it. Nope. Nope. Hey, Med's here. I'd be a little bit careful when I glance at the chat, but welcome to the stream. We're doing some Monster Hunter today. Come on. Need to get the hang of using that shield tackle to chain my hits together. This set also has chain crit, which gives me some additional damage boosts when I hit a bunch of times in sequence. A little bit tougher for Lance. It's not the fastest weapon, but all we need to really do is focus on pokes, which is nice. Try and get a KO as well. Oh, come on. Let's try to go for a KO. All right.
After it! Gotta be quick!
I see Med is sounding off in chat.
Faster, buddy!
Glad you could join us, of course. Apologies if I'm in the middle of trying not to get murdered. It might take me a second to see chats, but I'll glance over every once in a while so I can see what you folks are saying. And don't worry about the enthusiasm, Ed. That's good. You don't have to apologize about something like that. It's all good. Alright. Need to go up the middle of the map. Still need to get my timing down with Lance against Rathalos. There you are. Come here, Stinky.
Look out! It's angry!
Thick hit. Should build Slugger. The skill Slugger will boost KO damage. It'll be good for using that shield bash. Paralysis? Who did that? The cat?
Now it's personal!
There we go.
That looks like it's gonna hurt!
Ooh. Ha! Got your tail. Sucker. Leaving? Leaving.
Don't let him get away!
Med says, I swear, when people saying it's all good gives me chills.
What have we here?
My go-to is usually no worries. You'll hear me say that a lot. Ooh, got a lash. Good, we need a lot of those.
Let's go!
Okay, heading to the left. Coming up on 10. If I can get sub 20 for Rathalos until I get a little bit better at the fight, I'll be happy with that. Sub 20 minutes for a hunt is okay at master rank. I don't have completely optimized gear, especially not for Lance, but for the sake of being efficient. Ideally, getting times down to like 10 minutes or less would be really good, but probably won't be realistic until I have completely optimized gear.
Oh, I feel terrible.
Ah, poison. Ah, you got poison too. Brilliant. Aww. I'm facing the wrong direction. Head break, wing break. Let's even get the other wing. Ah. Zarlat asks, how many hours in Sunrise do you have? I don't know. We can check after this. Or Sunbreak, rather. It tallies hours in Rise in total, since Sunbreak is an expansion to Rise. So total hours has to be close to around 200, which is really not a ton, but I definitely kind of sped run the PC version. When I played the original base Rise game on Switch, I had a lot more time in it.
Mr. Monster, meet Mr. Whip!
Oh, wrong wing.
It's trying to get away! Faster, buddy!
Let's do this. I can just check on Steam. $170 hours? 170 hours in Rise in total. So that includes the base game plus what we've been doing here in Sunbreak. I know the Monster Hunter community would consider those rookie numbers, but again, I've played through the game twice at this point. And I'll be playing the expansion a lot longer than the base game. Pretty sure. There it is. Trying to get the counter on the stomp for the attack boost. Oh! I think I wire bugged right in the wall and got lit up. Aw.
Now I'm really angry. Ride like the wind.
Still gotta be careful. Matt says, man, I just got way too aggressive. In what regard?
Whetstone time.
You talking about here on chat or something else? Where are you? Alright, there you are. How dare you trap me in the corner, sucker. Give me that KO. Or not. Finally. Oh no, that's not a KO. That's a KO. The other wing. Come up on 15 minutes.
Don't let him get away.
Med says, my hair is so tangled, I have the urge to just cut it off. That's one of the challenges of having long hair. Especially in the summer. It's very warm in the summer.
This should make it good as new.
Alright. It's almost dead. Might be able to get that sub 20. As long as I don't do anything dumb. Fire.
That looks like it's gonna hurt.
I did that way too early. Not good. There we go. 16 minutes. Not bad. Could have done without that one cart, but not bad.
Carve, carve, carve.
Med says, it isn't even that long. I mean, I want it shorter, but sadly my parents say no. Ah, I see.
Ride like the wind.
Oh, this will be carved. I guess we'll see what we get time-wise from this run, or if we get any of the items we need. Time to beat about 16 minutes. Probably would have been 15 or 14 if I hadn't gotten KO'd. I see Matt has redeemed both a hydrate and a stretch. More fuel. Oh, look at that. A mantle on the first try. That is streamer luck right there. Because I've been farming this sucker for a little bit offline. And I've not gotten a mantle. So I'm going to chalk that up to all of you folks. You space bees for giving me luck. That is awesome. And to celebrate, we have a small Raku. So we will do that. I'm going to stand right on the bottom of the screen for you. Make sure I don't accidentally sell everything.
Hey, good to see ya! Let's get you fixed up then, shall we?
Oh, this is the outright forge price. I wonder if it's going to be cheaper as an upgrade. It's a little hammer icon, which might be hard to see in the upper left corner of the lance icon here. That means there's an option to create it, or if you have the tier before, you can just upgrade it. So I didn't realize this is for just crafting it outright.
Ain't nothing I can't forge.
So let me upgrade and
Damn,
see. We
my
might be able to
customer
save some
smile is the main
materials.
reason I've been banging away.
Yep. It does not require a mantle for just a straight upgrade. If we did, it would require 2 tails instead of 1. And the mantle, the drop that I've been looking for. So that's good. And it does require bits from Rathalos itself. I'll bet this tier on the end, when we eventually unlock it, is going to require that mantle. So that's good. We can just kind of stock that for now. This lance is decent. For things that have a fire weakness, it's pretty good for element. Its sharpness, which tops out in white, you can see on the bar, is okay. I'm going to assume its final upgrade goes into purple. The other fire lance, it's kind of a competitor, is Espinas. And Espinas does get purple, but it's lower fire elemental damage and has an affinity boost. But it's got more than 1 tier in between. So basically your choices are for weapons that have both fire on Wrath and Espinas. It comes down to what you want to farm and what you want to be able to use. Because again, I'm going to unlock this tier relatively soon. But in the meantime, might be able to take this on some hunts and it'll be functional. It's just going to have a little bit lower sharpness than what we've been using, and that's fine.
Ooh, I'm itching to get started.
If we jump over to Sword and Shield, this is not a weapon I have showed off on stream yet, but we can take a look at it. There it is. Because this is also a really fun weapon that I like playing with. This one follows a similar upgrade path, and we haven't even started it yet.
I'll put everything
The
Master
Jinn
Hammond taught me to good use. I can
has this
swing
kind of like
whatever you
fire
need.
forged blade, which is pretty cool looking, and kind of a Rathalos plated shield. We have everything to make it. And this one has a similar upgrade path to Master Rank, but again, this is the forge requirements. So it looks like all I need to do is build everything for this, and then it'll be ready for that same tier, but I'll need another mantle ultimately. But in order to start it, I need another tail. And it starts off the Puke Puke line. So essentially I need the upgrade from the fighter sword to the Puke sword 1, and then down here into the Jin. And these are the progressions. So let me switch to sword and shield. We'll demo that weapon a little bit while we farm up these low rank bits. This should be really easy. In fact, I can probably end the fight in like 5 minutes. Let's see. Oh, I didn't make a set for that. Okay. We'll use the same loadout for our dual blades. It's just going to be with sword and shield. We'll use the Abyssal Sunburst, the final boss weapon. Our boosts aren't really going to matter. Yeah, it's not going to matter for low rank. Med says, Twitch has a problem with me today. Oh, is the site having trouble loading?
Time to get going.
Oh, I see. It sucks that it drops you from the stream. I haven't noticed anything on my end, so at least we know it's probably not like a problem with Twitch's servers itself. Otherwise, I'd probably be seeing issues with the stream quality. But that's okay. Feel free to jump back on when you can, or if it's having issues, you know, don't worry about it. Ah, small timer done. Thank you. And we've returned to normal. It says it's 11 p.m. My mom is hoovering, vacuuming. Oh no, holy banana, I got a heart attack. Unexpected vacuuming. It's one of the reasons why I'm glad I don't have people who live above me anymore. That kind of noise goes straight through the floors. Okay, before we do an actual mission quest, since I haven't demoed Sword and Shield, let's go to the training area and I'll do a really quick and dirty rundown of this weapon like I've done for all the others. Alright, so Sword and Shield is a fast-hitting weapon. It's sort of kind of touted as like a quote-unquote beginner's weapon in Monster Hunter. For people new to the series, it's not a bad place to start because it's not the most technically complex compared to some of the other weapons like gun lance or the ranged weapons like guns or bow. But it's not a simple weapon. It's easy to kind of learn but difficult to master. So Sword and Shield with your weapon out has pretty decent ground speed. You have this kind of trot, decent mobility. You can also use items while your weapon is out, which is unique to this weapon specifically. You don't have to sheath. If I hold block, which is R2, same for all the other guarding weapons, and then hit square on PlayStation, I'll use an item from my inventory, and I don't have to put my weapon away. It's very handy in a pinch, especially if you need to heal. For strikes, depending on the switch skill loadouts you have, which I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time looking into here, the hits themselves with the Sword and Shield are quick. And hitting triangle in succession gives us chop, side slash, twin blade combo, which is a pretty quick series of pokes and cuts. And like all the other weapons, you can evade, cancel out of the animations if you want to. Allow yourself to reposition and get around a target. There's not too much animation commitment with this one because it's kind of quick. But it does give you some good mobility options. On circle, we have lateral slash, return stroke, spinning rising slash. It is a different series of hits, different motion values, but they can be chained with the triangle hits, so you can sort of mix your combos up. It goes triangle to circle, or I believe circle to triangle. Yeah. You can't go alternating. You basically start one combo path and you link to the other ones. Yeah, like so. So you're essentially doing combo paths if you play fighting games. If you do a triangle and circle at the same time by itself, you get sliding slash with this loadout, which gets you kind of a quick mobility slide along the ground, and you get a follow-up. You get circle for a jumping rising slash out of the slide, which is kind of handy. If you need to get height, hit something that's off the ground, you can do the sliding slash into scaling slash, and that's what gives you kind of that height, the vertical. Out of that jumping slash, you can do a regular follow-up slash or falling bash with the shield. It does KO damage. And if you don't hit a direction while you are, or rather, if you use triangle and circle mid-combo and not on its own, you get a finisher instead of that slide. And that's a spinning reaper. It's a round slash that spins all the way around and does damage scaling based on the number of hits that preceded it. So let's see. If I do 2 hits and then the round slash for the finisher, 1, 2, 97. If I do more hits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 128. 168. As you can see, the finisher's damage kind of scales depending on how you string it at the end of a combo. Without getting too technical, it just means you have a lot of versatility for how you end your combos, and you can spin around too. You can redirect which way you're facing with that round slash and/or spinning reaper, which is pretty handy if you need to turn or pivot as the monster's moving around. Then you just point or hold in a direction, and it points you in that direction for the finisher. Pretty handy. If we're doing a combo and at any point we hold back and hit circle, we get the back step, which I believe evades. I can't remember if it has iframes. It gets you out of close range, but I don't think you're completely invincible while you're doing the hop. It can be charged, and then when you release it, you jump forward with charge slash. If we go circle upon leaping forward with charge slash, we get the scaling slash, which runs up the monster and gives us those air finishers. So you can do something like shield bash if you're near the monster's head. That's the circle. You could do a jumping slash with triangle. And does that plunge? That was in World, I know. No, not on this loadout. Shield combo, real quick, is forward circle instead of just hitting neutral. Neutral gives us the spinning rising slash, that triple combo we saw earlier. If we hit forward plus circle, we start with a shield bash. And if we go follow up, we have a thrust plus this sort of 2 4-hit drill slash, which puts 1 hit in the monster and then it slices it outwards for a whole bunch of hits afterwards. Hits pretty quickly, good for things like hitting tails when the monster's down. Pretty handy. Let's see. We talked about guard. Guard plus circle gives us a parry. Or guard slash. This has got a very, very tight specific window, but if you can do it, you get a parry. I'll try and do that in fight, but I'm not too great at it. Let's see. We could talk all day about the combos, but rather than do that, I think I'll show off a couple more things and then we'll be good to take the weapon out. If we do the back hop and go into the charge and hit triangle, we go into perfect rush. And this is a series of combos that require very specific input. So if I do it away from a target so you folks can see. See that red flash? And that one? And that one? I have to hit triangle whenever that red flash goes off, and it continues the chain for additional damage, additional hits. If I miss, then it ends the combo. So it's a pretty high commitment series of attacks, but if you have a big opening and you can throw it by
Mr. Monster, meet Mr. Weapon.
going into the prompt for it, you can end with the scaling slash and then do the follow-ups from the air, like the cut or the shield bash. And it's pretty decent amount of damage. It just requires a lot of timing, and you have to be a little bit careful that you don't get whacked while you're doing it. So usually if the monster's down or stunned, it gives you enough an opening to start perfect rush and then pile of damage on. Additionally, if I do the guard slash parry at the perfect time, I can go right into perfect rush just by hitting triangle, and it immediately goes into that sequence that requires the button presses, but you have to be dead on with the timing. It's a little bit tricky. And so that's a pretty quick breakdown of the moveset. There are some nuances to the combos and things that the switch skill swap to go to the other loadout. It changes the actual combos a bit, the way I have it slotted in.
You're the best, pal.
Instead of the drill slash on circle, we have the hard bash combo, which is pretty much all shield hits. Instead of that piercing multi-hit sword move, this is for KO damage if you want to go for the head and knock out monsters. Equally useful. I tend to go for tails, that's why I have the other loadout slotted in. And both are good. For soak binds, if we do the triangle soak bind, shield bash. You zip forward with the wire bug, laterally, straight forward, with a big shield hit. If you connect with the monster's head, it's a lot of KO damage, impact. There's a gap closer, or you can use it to get away too. It's very fast. I don't think you can use it in the air, since there's not a lot of moves that get you airborne. No, you have to be on the ground, I think. But if you want to get close to the enemy, or they're down and you want to lay on KO damage, shield bash is good for that. It's very quick, only costs one wire bug. One of my favorite soak binds for the sword and shield, and fighting game people will probably appreciate this. If we do the circle one, we get Metsu Shoryugeki. It is a very fast shield uppercut that goes straight up in the air, Shoryuken style, and it does KO impact damage and can counter if you time it right. And then once you're in the air, you can follow up with either a slash or the plummeting shield bash for additional KO damage. It has pretty good height and carry, and does pretty decent damage on its own, in addition to ability to KO the monster. Metsu is one of the flashiest moves that the sword and shield has, and it's really cool. Let me see if I can demonstrate it here. Because this thing's head is a little bit higher. Yeah, I'm impacting off of the stomach. But if the monster, kind of like a wyvern, has their head a little bit further forward and is trying to do something like roar and you time it, you can go straight, point blank, throw the Shoryugeki, the shield, uppercut into a bash, and you can KO. Very, very handy. It's 2 wire bugs though, so it's costly. You have to be careful with it. If you miss, you have to wait for things to recharge, and you're a bit vulnerable and you get swatted out of the air. On the other scroll loadout for Silkbind skills, Falling Shadow, this is a vault forward with the wire bug. Also good gap closer, but gets you airborne. You can use it as a follow-up, and you can hit the monster or get close to them. I think the shield bash is a little bit better, but if you need height, Falling Shadow's not bad. And then the other skill I have swapped in here on circle, Destroyer Oil. real quick melee attack at point blank, and it gives us a buff as shown by the blue trails on my weapon or my shield. This gives additional part breaking damage, which can stun or stagger monsters. Not stun, flinch or stagger monsters. And so this is a part breaking damage bonus for a short amount of time while it's active. So Destroy Oil is cool. If you get a chance to throw it on as an active buff, it's pretty decent. I prefer the skills on the other scroll just because when they have the gap closer, it's a little bit quicker, and you have the Metsu. But because we can swap between our loadouts, we can use whatever we feel is necessary when we have an opening, which is one of the big gimmick draws for Sunbreak. You don't have to be locked into one play style. You can switch on the fly and mix things up. Devil May Cry style. Very cool. So that is a very, very elementary and quick rundown of the Sword and Shield. Again, this weapon is pretty complicated when it comes to your abilities and possibilities for attacking, but at the same time, it's not necessarily that technically difficult to just figure out and learn. I would say someone brand new to Monster Hunter, it's not a bad place to start because, again, you have the speed, you have a lot of combo potential, and you can use items while your weapon is out, which is a good insurance maneuver in a lot of instances. So let's go take it out on the road.
My buddy.
Iconic says that's cool indeed. Yeah, it's a neat weapon. It tends to get written off as sort of a beginner baby weapon, but it's absolutely not true. Sword and Shield is incredibly powerful. And it's a lot of fun to play. Okay, we need to go to low rank. We need to go beat on a Puke Puke.
Please select the quest that best suits you. Take care.
This should be quick. That'll be a good way to practice with the Sword and Shield. I've only taken it out a couple times as I was prepping for today. So I do need to get the rust off. Oh, let's see, up in 8. Sword and Shield is also a pretty decent elemental damage weapon too because of its speed and motion values. So generally, what I'll do if I'm playing with the weapon, like I did on the Switch version, is I'll build an element for all the respective elemental weaknesses like we're doing for the Lance. I will do that with Sword and Shield too. If you don't want to do that and want to build a straight raw damage Sword and Shield and not worry about element, that's also perfectly viable. Basically, you have a choice. You can kind of build however you want, which is also nice.
Need to sharpen this thing.
There you are. Alright, I'm still trying to get the hang of countering roars with the Metsu. I think you could do it, but you have to time it really carefully. Okay, quills are wing breaks, I think?
Love you, buddy.
Let's ride.
Watch and learn. Bye-bye. This one's all for you.
Oh, got the wings. There's the other one. All right.
I feel terrible.
There you go. Granted, this is going to take no time because it's a low rank fight and I'm using master rank gear. But it's a pretty good example of the speed on this weapon. In fact, I need to turn on Hunter Silhouette. When I'm obscured by the monster, I need to be able to see where I am, especially if I'm doing Perfect Rush. I just sworn I turned that on. Nope. There you go. Now if I'm obscured by something, there'll be a white silhouette outline that shows where I am. Got one quill. I think I needed two. I might have to do that again. Sarah asks, has the community made any mods for Rise? Any cosmetics or model changes? Oh yeah, there's a bunch. I haven't looked into any because I'm not really big into mods at the moment. But for the base game, before Sunbreak came out, and I think they've been adapting them for Sunbreak as well, there are mods that change the models, make like layered skins for characters from other games. As you could probably imagine, which should be a surprise to no one, the most popular mod types for these Monster Hunter games, it was the same thing in World and Iceborne, and for Rise and Sunbreak it's pretty much the same. It's the gigantic booba mods. I haven't looked into them personally because I really don't care that much, but if you want to give your hunter giant honkin' milkers, you can do that. There are mods for it. It's a lot of mods on the mod page, which is really funny.
Let's get you fixed up.
Well, that's
then,
fine.
shall we?
If that's how you want to play the game, that is entirely up to you. Okay, we're on Rathalos. Oh, I need two more. Okay.
Bring on the hard stuff. Ain't nothing. Bye now.
I feel a little bad beating up on low-ranked targets,
Take a look at the quest list.
but at least they go quick. Twilight says, I'd rather use a Samus suit mod. Probably looks cool in fights. Wouldn't surprise me if someone has adapted like a Samus suit skin, because in the Switch version of Generations Ultimate, I believe, you could get the Metroid armor. One of the light bowgun was the actual arm cannon, but you could dress up like Samus. So I'm sure if people rip that from the Switch version of GU, they can put it into this game if they really wanted to.
Back.
Alright, we're up here this time.
Whetstone time. Time to get to work.
Starlight asks, did you get the rush from the Mega Man event? I haven't done a lot of the event quests. I have the quests, just haven't gone through the whole unlocks yet. They had like the Mega Man one. There was the Sonic one. I'm interested to see what kind of crossover events we get for Sunbreak. Maybe we'll get like a DMC one, like a Dante skin. That'd be cool.
Let's go for a ride. Making steady progress.
Let me get the other wing. There it is. There's the roar counter. When you hear that pinging noise, that means you've successfully done the counter and gotten the move to go off correctly. There we go. Starlight says, I wonder how Prime 4 and Breath of the Wild 2 is doing. That's a good question. Maybe we'll get updates at the next big Nintendo Direct. I know Breath of the Wild 2 was pushed back until next year, I think. 23.
Let's go.
And Prime 4, since they went back to the development and kind of started from the ground up, I don't know if there's been any significant updates. Main Switch game I'm primarily looking forward to. There's two of them that I can think of off the top of my head. There's Bayo 3, which is looking great. And then there's the Monster Rancher game, which I don't believe has a release date here. I also need to go and check when that Advance Wars reboot camp or whatever it is coming out. I don't think it came out already. I think that got pushed back too. Might be in the fall or winter. Alright, we got our quills. Starlight says, most likely getting another trailer for Mario plus Rabbids game. Yeah, that's possible. That's such an interesting crossover. Alright, this should put us up one more tier for Rathalos Sword. Yep. Now we need a Rathalos Tail from low rank. Or we could do high rank, I guess. That gives us a chance to get a gem, I suppose. Is equally easy. It'll be one tier of difficulty lower than the one we just fought on Master Rank.
Take a look at the quest list. You'll do great.
But we're gonna need to focus on getting the tail. Starlight says, I recommend playing it. It's fun and has a good combat system. Is the Mario Rabbids one the one that's modeled after XCOM?
Let's go.
Like a turn-based strategy? Is that the one I'm thinking of? I remember reading about that. That is an interesting gameplay style, if that's the one I'm thinking of. Very different. Yeah, okay. I've never really played XCOM. I looked into it briefly, but I've never played it at any length. Games look interesting.
Need to sharpen this thing.
Hello? Oh, there you are. There we go. And immediate KO with the roar.
This is the end of the line for you. Look out! It's angry. My buddy.
Right there.
That looks like it's gonna hurt.
Head break. Really want to topple. There we go. Watch tail.
Love you, buddy.
Watch your wings.
Let's go for a ride.
Oh, I missed.
How do you like that? No more holding back.
I managed to tag the wing with that. That was a lucky hit.
I'm gonna kick your butt.
Ah,
Look out!
missed.
It's angry.
Missed again.
Don't let him get away.
All right, we need one
right,
tail.
Let's see what we have.
That's not a tail. So I'll have to see if we get one in rewards. It's not a guarantee when you carve the tails, but it's more than a 50% chance, I think. Oh well. I think we get a part break reward just for cutting it off.
Whetstone time. That looks like it's gonna hurt.
Whoops. Fire still does damage, even though we're on high rank instead of master. Can't be too reckless. Oh, come on, really? Alright, almost dead.
You asked for this. Look out! It's angry.
Oh, I like how the shield bash kind of hard stops you too. You don't sort of pass through the monster when you have the shield bash. You do the impact and then stop on the spot. There we go. Sub 10? Eh,
Didn't
not
even
bad.
break a sweat. What have we here?
Let's see if I get the drop I need from this run. I don't want to just fight nothing but Rathalos and Puke Puke the entire stream for you folks. Icon redeemed a hydrate. Alright. Morga fuel. I did not get the tail I wanted. Alright. That's fine. We'll work on something else in the meantime. Gore and Shigaru Magala on the same map.
Hey,
Welcome. Mysteries abound. Goodbye. Please come again.
Alright, let's
hey,
see.
good to see ya.
Oh.
I'll be here when you need me.
We could go fight Kushala. Question is, do I want to do that with the duels? Do I want to do that with... we can go Lance, I guess. Lance is a bit more safe. I'm going to kind of jump around between weapons throughout the stream today. Kushala, the big metal blow dryer.
Oh, it's great to see you. Please select the quest that best suits you. Best of luck.
Be good lance practice.
Time to get going.
Storm of the Kushaladora. I think I've fought this one on stream before. This is the metallic elder dragon.
Ride like the wind.
Oh, I don't think I've done it on this map though. Ah well. Oh, I need to unlock the camp. I keep forgetting to do that. I'm going to take a quick detour up to the right side of the map, kind of close to where Tigrex is hanging out. There is a camp up there. There's one. And I keep forgetting to go and just unlock the quest prompt so that I can work on getting it on the map for fast travel. I'm going to do that before we go into the fight. Let's see. I don't know exactly where it is, but apparently it's somewhere up on the right. I definitely haven't been up here. Oh. Here? Nope.
Give me some of that sweet ore.
Oh, mine point. Okay. What is in that little tiny bit to the top of this section? Oh. Oh, there it is. Put that there. There it is. Oh, where is it? On top? Is that why I missed it? Oh, no, I can't go up there. Where's the actual camp spot? Oh, all the way in. Okay. It popped a little quest prompt thing, even though I didn't go all the way in that cave. Okay, well, we found it. That's good. Next time we go back to town, let's talk to the NPC to get the quest. And it'll probably be something like kill X number of small minion monsters, and then that will unlock fast travel camp here on the Citadel map. Which is good. It'll make mean I don't have to hoof it from the bottom every single time. But now we can go find Windy Boy.
Need to sharpen this thing.
Oh, it's underground? Great. Perfect place to fight an angry wind dragon in an enclosed cave. Give me that attack boost.
That's my buddy.
Ugh. Watch out for the dragon punches. Are you leaving? Ah, fine.
Ride like the wind.
This is gonna be a challenging fight. Kushala is quick, but has a lot of moves that hit hard and kind of lock you in place.
Good as new.
So I need to get good at shield tackling through them so I don't get locked down, keeping the pressure. And if I can, break its horn. There we go. Give me that boost.
Look out! It's angry. That looks like it's gonna hurt.
Uh-oh. Best way to deal with that is to use a wire bug and get out of range. I tried in testing, you can sit there and power guard to block it, and it chips your life all the way down to nothing, which is not good. So you can't really tank that move, big storm pillar.
Look out! It's angry.
You can tank that though. It gives you a pretty big anchorage boost. The stronger the hit, the better the attack buff.
Now it's personal.
Oh, nope. Thanks to the decline, I missed. Get out of the corridor. Over here. Ooh. Ah. Yep, there goes.
Let's go.
All right, I'm doing okay. Need to be careful. Keep the pressure on. Oh, we're up in the arena up top. Okay.
Whetstone time.
Let me get that KO. Nice.
Mr. Monster, meet Mr. Weapon.
There we go. And there's the KO.
Now it's personal. I am not going down that easily.
Ah, I was facing the wrong direction. Sit down.
No more holding back. Love you, buddy. That looks like it's gonna hurt.
Nah, not close enough. Counter poke does decent damage too.
I'll
Oh,
make you regret this.
should have gone a little more sideways instead of straight backwards. Got wind beamed. Oh.
Now I'm really angry.
All right, that's fair.
Ride like the wind.
A long walk. I like the fight against Kushala in Rise. After the slog of a fight that was World and Iceborne, they retuned that fight a lot better in this game. Since Kushala spends more time on the ground and doesn't just spam those tornadoes, and they leave the field pretty quickly. It's pretty dynamic and fun fight now. It's challenging, but at least it's not annoying. It was super obnoxious in the last game, which was kind of a pain because it had really good gear. But if you wanted to get said good gear, you have to actually fight it. Hey, it's Rajan.
This should make it good as new.
Ah.
Excuse me for a moment.
T-Rex? Yep. Alright, so we can get a free ride. Like so.
Watch and learn.
I see Iconic's taking off. Alright, dude. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. Hope you have a good dinner at the sushi buffet.
How do you like that?
Oh, that's a bad place for the head.
You're the best, pal.
Well, can't really take advantage of that. Ah. That would be a good chance for a counter. There we go. Yep, horn break.
Look out! It's angry! Now's my chance! Careful!
Nope. Ooh. He's got stun locked. I'm always one frame or two early. Those dragon punches have such a big windup, they're a really good chance for a counter. If I'm already doing something else, I don't have enough time to react. I need to be careful. I think it'd be a bit difficult to get sub 20 here.
It's trying to get away!
Yeah, if I was doing this with a light bow gun and pierce, it'd be much faster.
Let's go!
Still getting better with lance. Wouldn't consider it my best weapon. But I do enjoy playing it. Lance is really fun, especially in this game. Oh, it's underground. Okay.
Whetstone time.
For 4?
Uh-oh, here it comes.
That should be good. Oh, just kind of a choke slam. Bad.
You do what
Come here,
I
you.
say now. Bye-bye.
Now we get the big guns.
Let's go for a ride. That looks like it's gonna hurt. How do you like that? Boom!
There we go. Got the horn. Waterfall right into the tornado. That's a good idea. There we go. Proper timing on the counter. To try and aim for the tail. It's so high up with the lance, it's difficult to hit.
Look out! It's angry! Gotta be quick!
Hey, Lizzie's here. Lizzie says, I have Smarties who wants to smoke them with me. You can smoke Smarties? I guess you can smoke anything if you try hard enough. Aw. Oh, I see we have a hydrate redeem. As soon as I get a spare minute, I will grab some good fuel. Leaving? Alright.
Don't let him get away!
That was a good time for some hydration. Also, welcome to the stream, Lizzie. Hope you're doing well this Sunday.
Ride like the wind!
We are hunting monsters on mostly Master Rank and Sunbreak. Yep, we're at 25 pretty much. I get sub 30, I guess it'll be a good run. Ow. Whoa. Rude.
That looks like it's gonna hurt!
Oh. Okay. Apparently that has a maximum range. Ah, two hits, two hits. Paralysis?
That's my buddy.
No paralysis.
Look out! It's angry!
There we go.
That looks like it's gonna hurt!
Close this one out already. There we go. Whoa, 26 minutes. Kind of a high time.
Carve, carve, carve.
Might need a Thunder Lance. I can't remember if it's Dragon or Thunder that Kushala's weakest against.
Faster, buddy!
There's a Pyrotna Kadakni on the map. I didn't even know they could spawn here. And a Basil. I'm surprised we didn't see the Basil. Hey, we got a gem. Not the rarest drop, but we do need this for a whole bunch of weapons. Okay, that's good. Means I could probably get my Ice Lance now. Finally. Or I could put it on my duels.
Hey there. Oh,
Oh, Boggy. I've got to kill 8 Boggy, the little floppy-eared goblin raptors.
okay then. See you soon.
We'll do that whenever we see them around.
Hey, good to see ya!
Kushala. So we could upgrade to the Daora's Fang, which gets us an upgrade to Master Rank, Daora's Fang Plus. Or
Alright, let's make it happen!
we can upgrade it here to get the Daora's Hook for duels. I think this weapon is probably going to be a little bit easier to use. There's a whole bunch of targets that are weak against ice that I'm going to be fighting coming up.
The hard stuff. Ain't
So I'm
nothing
going
I
to burn
can't
my
pull.
gem here. We'll get
Damn,
more.
my
I'm going to have to
customer
farm
smile is the main
Kushala
reason
much,
I've been banging away at the smithing stuff for so long.
many more times in the future. That's okay.
while the iron's hot.
Pretty decent elemental for ice. He's got a level 3 slot. That's good.
Ah,
And then we've not gotten the Elder's unlock yet. Alright. This is an interesting set of dual blades. This has been in a whole bunch of the older Monster Hunter games. The Twin Nails and Fire and Ice. This requires Kushala bits and Teostra, the big explosive lion dragon bits. But it's a dual element. It has blast and ice on it. So it alternates hits, I believe. Neat weapon. But we're focusing on ice specifically with Kushala. Okay, we're here on the Espinas tier. Probably gonna need to go here. Wyvern Lovers for pure fire, but I'm gonna wait till this tier unlocks before I decide if I'm gonna do fire poison or 100% fire, maybe both. I haven't quite figured that out yet. Right, I guess we can switch targets. Let's go after something different.
okay.
Well,
good
switch
luck.
weapons too. Go back to dual blades. I haven't done any duels this stream
For all
yet.
questing needs. Hunting with followers, are you?
Do some follower quests with the NPCs. Still need to get some Almadron bits for both its weapons and its armor. I need 2 mantles at least. But we can take some of our pals. We can take Fiorain. We'll put you on... Put you on Charge Blade this time. And Luchika. Keep you on Heavy Gun.
We're all in this together.
So we'll have some pals just running around now, make it a little bit more lively. Almadron, we want fire. And for this one, Defender, Water Res, Mud Boy.
Enough of that. Let's go! Let's go! Move out! To hunt is to truly live!
Alright, ladies,
But I suppose I do like your motivation.
let's go hunt the Mud Weasel.
Back! Well, well. Well?
I like how we don't have a whole lot of backstory on Luchika, but she's kind of the loose cannon of the group, it seems. Fitting because she's a heavy bow gunner. Let's try and take the tail off. even.
It's getting a bit too excited. You've become the monster target.
Aw, really? Get smacked by the tail. Whew, that was close. Oh,
Eyes on you.
that was mid Attack on Titan move.
Fight like that, heal up. Wait until I finish reloading. How
Leave him.
you get fight? Faster, buddy.
All right, not bad for a first round.
Need to sharpen this thing.
Kimura's whetstones are
I'm gonna kick your butt.
Oh, I see Sarlad's banning bots. Thanks for doing that, Sarlad. I forgot we talked about that last time.
Angry, are you? It's getting angry. Now it's personal.
Aw.
The monster's coming for you.
Some damage in the tail. I think we got a chip. Yes. So we got chip first, then sever for the tail.
Ammo goes in, pain comes out. This should do the trick.
thank you for your assistance.
I need to do more of the missions, get some backstory on the NPCs. I swear, Luchka sounds like someone doing like a fake British accent. It'd be really funny if it turns out she's from like another country, but she's trying to blend in. She's doing like the fake British.
I see you are a capable
She's a funny
rider.
character. She likes her guns. Stack up some damage.
It's getting a bit too excited.
I believe it has become angry.
How do you like that?
You should be proud of your riding.
You're quite a talented rider.
Oh, tail's out of range.
Watch your step.
Get out of the corner, shall we? Aw. There we go. Well, if you did that, thanks. Really? Wasn't enough sever?
This is the end of the line for you!
Alright, we put it to sleep.
Let us kick things off with a bang.
Alright.
This should make it good as new!
Bomb time.
That's a
You
fine
should be proud of
whetstone.
your polishing skills.
It's ready to blow. I put down a bomb.
Never know what hit them.
Whee!
Now it's personal! It's got its eyes on you! It's aiming for you!
Got severed.
Keep an eye on the movement!
Nonsense doesn't scare me.
Reload!
Don't waste this opportunity.
There it is.
Ready to done it back to my
Well
style.
done.
Take your front!
Love you, buddy. Now's your chance to ride it.
Alright. Let's go for the ride.
You do what I say now! Take the reins! I suggest you aim for a wall!
Enjoyed the show.
Nice. Ball break? Ball break. The other one. Oh, I did get the other one. Right.
Ammo goes in, comes out. Boom!
There's little fight victory is assured.
Alright, limping.
Let's go!
Yeah! Move out!
Mantle.
Carve, carve.
Nope. I see Sarlet is redeemed to stretch and to hydrate very well. And a save reminder. Appreciate the reminder. Oh my god.
Whetstone time!
Too bad I'm out of bombs.
Is essential.
What do we have here? That takes care of that! Excellent! Boom! Mr. Monster, meet Mr. Whip! It's getting angry!
Oh, did have a bomb left.
I believe it is
There we go.
Victory!
Oh.
Great job,
We
Fiore.
could have got a sub 10
Have
if
you
it hadn't run
sustained
off.
any injuries?
I'm fine, thanks. I have fulfilled my duty with honor. That is all that matters.
Fins, whiskers, shards. Alright. Not bad. It's fun doing these quests with the NPCs. You get their banter and they do pretty good support in giving you firepower. So we got head, brakes, claw brakes on both sides, back brake, and the tail sever. I think we got everything. That's good. But no mental. I wonder if people are actively hunting Almudron. I'm tempted to just go jump into some multiplayer lobbies, or some multiplayer quests, and just knock this out in like 8 minutes. I could take a gun. I've been farming this thing off and on for like at least 3 weeks. And it has not given me a mantle. I'll go to the weapon tree and show you folks what I'm talking about when I'm trying to actually build for Almudron. Let's see. Except cats and cat and dogs.
How are things?
On the dual tree, we're here. The mud slicers on the water, a water weapon. Trying to upgrade to the mud slicers plus, which gives us barely any purple. Decent chunk of white. This one's low raw, high water damage. Where's Mizutsune's weapons? This one's higher raw, lower.
Bring on the hard stuff. Ain't
Lower
nothing
water
I can't
damage.
forge. Seeing my customers
Dark
smile is the
Aurora.
main reason I've been banging away at the smithing stuff for so long.
These are cool weapons too, but I want to go for maximum elemental damage on duels. So we need one mantle for Almudron here. And on the armor
Let's
side,
get you fixed up then,
I think
shall
I've
we?
showed this off before. It's been a little while. I really want to build Almudron's armor, and I've got everything except for the chest piece, which also requires a mantle. In fact, if I get one, I'll probably put it in here first so I can start building switch axe stuff. But both the Almudron armors look really cool. It's kind of mecha inspired outfit. Really neat.
I'll put everything Master Hammond taught me to good
But
use.
for this one,
I
Rapid
can
Morph,
swing
Power
whatever you
Prolonger,
need.
Razor Sharp, Vade Window, Spare Shot. Pretty much tailor-made for a switch axe build. Doesn't have chain crit. But generally, I guess you do a decent amount of hits with the switch axe. So yeah, we need at least 2 mantles for Almudron. And I was looking at the
Alright,
tree.
let's make it happen.
The Magmadron tree with subspecies is also fire. And this one is lower raw, but 60 fire. And Rathalos probably gets close to 60, but at max tier, Magmadron might be just better overall. So I think I'm gonna ultimately try and build over here, which means I gotta farm the
Bring on the
subspecies
hard
too.
stuff. Ain't nothing I can't forge.
But we need to actually go
Seeing my
down
customer
here.
Smile is the main reason I've been banging away at the smithing stuff for so long.
Oh, we're missing Shell from the low rank one. So we kind of have to do like we were doing for the Rathalos fire weapons and start in low rank, get 1 bit. We literally need 1 bit for this. And then upgrade up through high rank and then branch down to the subspecies tree for fire. So for dual blades, I'm going to end up with regular water ones for Almudron, and then fire ones for Magma Almudron. Oh, there's lots of angry weasels in the future.
Bye now.
Let me see. I'm going to switch loadouts to my gun, and then let's see if we can go grab some hunts for people that they're actively farming the mud weasel. One, to switch things up, and two, let's see if we can do that a little bit quicker. There we go. Put our layered armor on. For this one, marksman.
All right, let's go.
All right. Before we do that, I'm gonna go fry some chicken real quick, and then we'll jump in and see if we can do some online hunts, randoms. I'll be back in 1 sec.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Let us resume. Trial of the Almudron. Let's see if anybody's got a quest going for this one. Nice.
Ready to go. Faster, buddy.
So we've got a full team.
Touchdown.
There they are.
There's the target.
Yep. Gun Lancer. sword shield user and a great sword user. So I need to make sure I'm not actively staggering them with my shots. Nope.
Just the person we need.
Some heartbreaking damage.
Don't worry, I'm here. Don't let him get away. Let's go. Reloading. The monster's looking at you.
What was that? Back. Chips on the tail. Alright. Now, if any of my teammates or I hit the little wire bug crystal things on the tail, will do extra damage. Oh, it's Basarios. Nice. Okay, chips on the tail.
Sweet moves.
Go with the meleeers, try and cut it off. Oh, nice. Did that. Oh, sleeping. My bad. That's Rathian. Dunked. Oh. More rides.
Sweet moves.
That looks like claws. Yep. Oh, it's almost dead. Sub 10. Ah,
See ya.
that works.
Quest complete. What have we here?
Oh, no mantles. Okay. Face break. Back. Both claws. No sever on the tail. Not bad. Not bad for like 8 minutes of work. No mantles in the rewards either.
I have faith that you will fulfill your duty. I look forward to your safe return.
It's kind of efficient. Let's do a couple more of those before we wrap up for today. Maybe I can get lucky. Or maybe I burned my luck at the beginning of the stream with that Rathalos mantle. We'll see. If I can do these in less than 10 minutes, we'll do a couple more.
All right, let's go.
Doing these hunts, even though it's a bit of a grind and repetitive, it's also ultimately for progression because I need to boost my master rank to 50. I'm pretty close. I think I'm at 42 or so. There are lots of people out there doing the same thing.
Ready to go.
Yeah, 41.
Faster, buddy. Back.
Oh, these count as helper rewards? Maybe if these people are lower ranked than me? I thought that was for lower tier difficulty. Maybe not.
Time to get to work.
Oh, there we go. Oh. They're not going for the launch for a free ride on Varoth, I guess? That's fine. I'm gonna leave anyway. this time around we've got heavy bow gunner, dual blades, and sword and shield.
It's got its eyes on you!
Nice. Oof. Rip. Good knockdown. Ooh. Rip again. Uh-oh. Okay. We need to be careful. That's our last card, I think.
Don't let him get away!
Ooh, orb. That's lucky.
Let's go!
Need a mantle, but I'll take an orb too. Alright. Someone's riding Sarios? Yep. Alright, good. 3 damage.
The monster's looking! You're a natural.
Oh. Okay, going for cap. That's fine. Better than failing, I suppose, even though I was almost dead. Hey, we got a mantle. From the capture rewards, huh? Okay. I'll take it. And I got another orb. I got no complaints there. Alright. That's nice. Hooray. To finally finish the switch axe armor.
Everything all right?
Okay, let me see. I'm gonna build that set now before I do anything else. Take that off.
How are things? Let's get you fixed up then, shall we?
Boy, that took so many runs. So many runs just to get one single mantle, and I still need one more.
You got it. Ooh, I'm itching to get started.
Upgrades on these. Six. Okay. Wow, it takes a lot of the heavies.
Strike while the iron's hot. Strike while the iron's hot.
Okay, maxed out on the armor. Cost a lot of spheres.
Let's get you fixed
And
up
the
then,
starting
shall we?
weapon for Switch Axe 2. Guess we can build a final boss weapon to start.
You got it. Okay, good luck.
Here's what the armor looks like now that I'm wearing it. For the color, let's see. We'll do a color that's different from most of our other ones. The purple's kind of cool looking. Kind of a magenta color. Ooh, that's not bad. Go with this kind of deep purplish color. Yeah, let's do that. Now we just need to set decorations. We need one evade extender. We'll look at what else is in here. Ah, I see Sarlad's taking off. Alright, Sarlad. Thanks for stopping by and helping out today. I will catch you later. I hope you have a good evening and good rest of your weekend. Okay, level 4 slot. Another level 4 slot. Another level 4 slot. I guess my redirection gems are going in there for now. Sharp jewel. Oh, no, wait. This one already has protective polish on it, doesn't it? No, it's razor sharp or protective polish. Razor sharp, okay. Alright, we'll put in protective polish. Let's see what other spare slots we've got. I need to make one more of these. Do I not have enough for a full grinder? I don't. I have to burn a... I'm gonna have to burn a slot to get speed sharpening on here. Oh, evade window 5, huh? I guess that's a nice utility skill to have. Alright. It's kind of a serious waste of a slot for now. But I'm going to put... Where's my other grinder drill? Put a grinder drill in here for now. If I get a better talisman, then I'll shuffle things around. Putting a level 1 into a level 4 slot's pretty big waste. But we'll leave it in there as a placeholder. Put this here. We'll call this switch axe. And switch skills. I do not have a lot of the switch skills for this. These are some of the new ones. Switch charger. Ah, this is the one that boosts gauge. I'll put that one on the other one. In order to unlock the other switch skills,
Stopping by.
I guess I'll have to look and see if I didn't do the high rank quests. It's probably one of them.
Please select the quest that best suits you.
Yep, there's one. Study the switch axe. And the other one
I hope
comes
we can talk
from
again soon.
doing a bunch of crafts that unlock.
Hey there! Alright, let's make it happen!
And some like 6 or 8 just upgrades anywhere on the tree.
Ah, you got it.
I'm gonna have to plan out where I want my upgrades to be on here. Maybe in the next stream, after I get a chance to build some stuff for Switch Axe, we can focus on doing like a kind of breakdown and whatnot for this weapon, since I haven't
Well,
played with it
there's that.
at all. I'm just unlocking things at the moment.
You got it. Ah,
I'll have to make a decision on whether or not I want the Almadron switch axe or one of the other ones for water. Daimyo looks like it's low element. I'd better go higher raw on switch axe. I'll have to look into that. Is that enough?
Be careful out there.
Yeah, I think that was enough.
Ready to thrash?
Forward
Stay out of
overhead
trouble.
slash. I remember that one. So for this one, instead of a forward thrusting move, this one goes over the top. I think I'll put that there. I'll keep that one there. I guess I can try and do that unlock mission while I'm here. That'll be the last thing I do for the evening.
Welcome to the hub. Which quest would you like? I wish you luck. How sweet is she?
This would be kind of a chance to dust the rust off on switch axe, and then next time I'll actually do a breakdown. That'll probably be better. I haven't played with this weapon since the Switch version of the game, but I did like it. Switch axe is fun.
Ride like the wind.
Okay, what are we? Lagombi and Kezu. Okay.
Doing great. Time to get to work.
The main gimmick of the switch axe, as the name would imply, is that there's two different weapon modes. Axe mode, which is a little bit quicker, has more mobility, and then you can morph the weapon into sword mode, which is slower, but is higher damage and elemental output.
That looks like it's gonna hurt. That's my buddy. Now it's personal. You asked for this.
And there's different gauges to keep track of when you're playing with switch axe. Thing that looks like a axe diagram, currently glowing bright green. That's my weapon gauge for switch axe. As you do hits in axe mode, it builds up the yellow part of the bar on the inside of the gauge. And I believe it doesn't go up during amp state. When the bar is fully glowing, it means it's in amp state, I think. Again, it's been a while since I played with the weapon. I might actually need to look up terminology before I break this weapon down. It's been so long. But normally, you would fill the yellow bar by doing hits in axe mode, and then when you switch to sword mode, it consumes that gauge. And if you completely deplete it, then it automatically reverts back to axe mode.
Love you, buddy.
And after a certain amount of time, amp state wears off. And you have to reactivate it. I don't know how the burst counter works. I know you have to time it when you take a hit. Whoop. And now it's dead.
What have we here?
I think landing the soaring wyvern thing, the dive bomb attack from the sky, puts me in permanent amp state for a little bit.
Let's go.
I know one of the moves does that. The trick of Switch Axe is managing the different forms of the weapon and the different powered up states. It's one of the more technically complex weapons, but it's pretty fun to play. Having the versatility and ability to kind of focus on mobility or straight up damage, depending on what you're fighting and how it's behaving, is a pretty neat concept. It's definitely going to take me some time to get good at the weapon again.
Whetstone time.
Alright, guys, let's go. Oh, it's trigger. Okay. R2 is the counter trigger. I think you have to have the burst come out right as you take the hit.
You're the best, pal.
And from what I was reading, a pro tip I just learned, if you do counter into a bomb, it counts and puts you into that amp state.
Love you, buddy.
See if we can get the discharge shot.
No more holding back. Boom. It's trying to get away.
Oh, it's leaving already? Alright.
Love you, buddy.
Oh, there you are. Let's get it right on Tetronodon.
Let's go for a ride. Yahoo! You do what I say now.
It's got some really short range to it. There we go.
How do you like that?
Now it's leaving.
Just a bit more. Let's go.
All right. It's almost dead. A couple more shots. We should be able to close this one out too.
I'm gonna kick your butt. Mr. Monster, meet Mr. Weapon.
Nice.
Didn't even break a sweat. All right, let's see what we have.
Another thing that I didn't really get a chance to show off. If you switch back to axe mode and you've got too low of a gauge to switch back to the sword, if you hit right trigger, then you basically reload your energy and it'll boost that meter back up and you can switch. So the combo paths for switch axe are pretty interesting. Some
On to the next
chain
one.
together and then you can use R2 to morph the weapon and then attack at the same time. Yeah, very technical weapon. I'll brush up on it and then next time I stream we can look at it in closer detail. Should be the last switch skill. Compressed finishing discharge. There's another one. There's another switch skill that I must be missing. Could have sworn there was one that gives me a regular attack that charges my gauge. I see that VTuber Truck-chan has followed. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Space Bees. Hope you enjoy your stay. We're actually getting ready to finish up shortly here with Sunbreak for the day. I was taking a look at the unlocks for Switch Axe. Oh, here. Wild swing certain number of times and press triangle to perform axe heavy slam. Short period of time, but easier to break parts, easier to build up amp state. That's what I'm thinking of. I was looking for the little little orange arrows to the right of the switch axe gauge. But I guess I missed it. There it is. Yeah, it's on the right. I was looking for it on the left. So entering that state and then doing hits in sword mode will boost how fast the amp state builds up, which is that orange bar that's going to eventually turn green. The amp state is what allows me to do the zero-sum discharge. Oh, it takes the place of that. Interesting. VTuber Truckchan says, wait, music is nice in this game? I've actually haven't seen anything from this game yet. Is it good? Ah, if this is your first time seeing Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, then this would be a good kind of intro. The Monster Hunter series, which you'll hear me talk about a lot on these streams, is my favorite franchise. I've played a ton of games in the series, and the version we're playing right now is an expansion to the base Monster Hunter Rise game, which is out on Switch and PC. And so the expansion is called Sunbreak, which came out several weeks ago. And it's a really good game. The hunting genre is a little bit different from like your action games or your, first-person shooters or whatnot. But the way they're designed is really kind of based around getting better at the game, learning how to fight the different targets, mastering the weapon that you choose to play with. And it's pretty complex, but it's also really rewarding if you put the time in to learn. That's what I like about Monster Hunter. Let's put you here. And the whole aesthetics and environment's really cool. In Base Rise, that came out over a year ago now, you're in sort of a Japanese aesthetic-inspired village, which is what you're hearing in the themes and whatnot. For the expansion in Sunbreak, you're in a more Western, kind of like a medieval city, which has its own themes and aesthetic to it. So it's always very kind of thematically built around your environments and whatnot, which is kind of cool. Alright, so if we build the meter up... and then go into amp state, then go into emblem discharge. Oh, it's because I'm on blue. That's why. Oh, the axe heavy slam is only on the regular forward slash. That's a different skill set loadout. That's why I didn't see it in the last mission. Okay, I guess that makes sense. There's a zero-sum discharge. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, we'll definitely go into more of an in-depth breakdown of this weapon that I'm using, the switch axe, next time, since I just started building stuff for it today. But let me go back to town and kind of try and explain a little bit more, since VTuber Truckchan asked about the game itself. So in Monster Hunter proper, the games are always set in a central hub, like a town where you always return to after your quests. It's got all of the different things and points of interest that you interact with when you're not actively on a hunt. So this is the town of El Gato. It's like an outpost right on the coast. It's kind of like a medieval aesthetic, like a ruined tower when they built this base. And then all the different NPCs you talk to have different story-related functions and gameplay-related functions, like our quest lady here. Truckchan says, wait, it's a cat? Yep. As part of the game, you have companions that travel with you. You have palicos, which my cat Nyanko here, who serves as support on missions. My cat can use weapons and skills and back me up in a fight. And then you have dogs, palamutes, which are also support. They can fight. You can ride them for essentially fast travel to get around maps. And you can customize their gear and give them different abilities. My dog is currently wearing an armor set that makes him look like kind of a demon. But normally he looks like a regular, like a yellow lab dog. And so you'll return to the hub after you run a quest to hunt a specific target. And you'll do things like upgrade your gear, buy items. The online portion of the gameplay is also interfaced from here. So if I wanted to go play with random people online, I could do that. Main core of the game, and gear specifically, without getting too deep into it, are the weapons. So there are 14 different weapons, and you can kind of consider them like a class in a game. Each weapon plays dramatically different from the other. And rather than focus on things like stats and levels like a Dark Souls or Elden Ring type game, what primarily affects your gameplay is the weapon you're using and the skills that you have. I won't really talk about skills, it's a little bit more complex, but when you equip a weapon, it changes your moveset. And so the game focuses around learning the weapon, learning its moves, building stronger weapons and armor that's going to allow you to take on more difficult targets, get further in the game, and continue progression. So you might have something like a greatsword. I don't have any noteworthy greatswords built, which is a very heavy, hard-hitting weapon that has charged strikes and things that are meant to be methodical and hit the enemy hard. Or you might have something like dual blades, which are two small swords, one held in each hand, that are built around rapid mobility, rapid attacks, fast-hitting attacks, and being able to outspeed and dodge around the monster instead of the slow heavy strikes of a greatsword. And different weapons obviously have different skins and different elemental properties that you use to sort of fight the appropriate targets. Something weak against thunder, you want to use a thunder weapon. And all the weapons and armor are crafted from bits that you get from hunting monsters out in the field. You also have more defensive weapons, like one of my favorites, the lance. It's kind of hard to see since the model's so big it's cutting out of the screen, but lance, very heavy defensive weapon with a heavy shield. You can tank hits, counter, and poke with the lance. So if you like the style of waiting till the monster is hitting you, blocking, countering, and then poking the monster in the face, it's not high mobility, but I guess it can be played quickly if you use the right combination of skills. You have what my personal favorite weapon in the game, gun lance, which is a cousin of the regular lance, but as the name would suggest, it's got a cannon built into the end of it. So while the regular lance involves poking, guarding, and kind of positioning yourself to poke the monster repeatedly, gun lance has a shell system, which, in addition to having the poking abilities like the lance, its cousin, you can discharge shells in bursts. So you have artillery, and you manage an artillery shell system, keep your shells reloaded, and you can do things like poke the monster, pop shells. It has some higher damage things like using a big fire cannon called Wyvern's Fire. There's a move introduced in this game which basically unloads all your ammunition at once in one big super powerful hit. So while it doesn't have the countering abilities of the lance, gun lance is about firepower. If you like explosions and making things go boom and looking super stylish and rocketing through the air like a projectile, gun lance, a weapon of style, and it's a lot of fun. You also have blunt force impact weapons like the hammer, like a giant mallet. This weapon excels at hit and run and higher speed attacks, despite being a pretty big looking bulky weapon. You go for the head and inflict KO damage and knock targets out. So your responsibility as the hammer user is to knock monsters out and leave them open for the rest of your team to go and wail on them. There's a lot of charging type moves where you charge your weapon up or charging forward and taking advantage of high mobility with hammer. This is the first weapon I ever learned in depth. It's a lot of fun. I can do a quick intro on all the weapons here. Longsword is a high-speed weapon. It's a long, giant katana. If you want to be the master of weeb culture, longsword is very fast, very mobile, and has a whole bunch of counters. If you ever seen anime and you know like the draw counter style or EI jutsu, the longsword has a whole bunch of things built around sheathing your weapon and then drawing and countering in order to negate attacks from monsters. It's very stylish and really cool weapon to use. And if you play it properly, you'll never get hit because you'll be sitting there doing Kenshin style draw counters and everything. Just don't knock your teammates over. For versatility and a good weapon to sort of ease you into Monster Hunter, we were talking about this earlier on the stream, Sword and Shield. This weapon is a fast-hitting, high-mobility weapon with a lot of really versatile combos with the sword and the shield. The sword is used for quick slashing attacks. Shields can be used for impact force hits to knock monsters out, similar to a hammer. And there's a lot of really neat potential with Sword and Shield, and people tend to think of it as a beginner weapon, but it is actually pretty complex. But it's a good one to learn if you're just getting into Monster Hunter, since it doesn't have a lot of complex mechanics like the gun lance. But really fun weapon. I like Sword and Shield. The one I was just playing with and experimenting with in the training room was Switch Axe. This is the final boss Switch Axe, so it's kind of big and weird looking. But this one specializes in having an axe mode and a sword mode, and moves that switch between the two, and they play pretty differently depending on the situation. So getting up in more technical complexity, for Switch Axe, you want a weapon that kind of functions like a Bloodborne weapon, where it has two states and you have to figure out what state's best at the time. It's a pretty neat weapon. It's a lot of fun. Also makes monsters go boom, if that's your thing. If you prefer a more, I don't want to say support role, but a different type of gameplay style, Hunting Horn is a very fun weapon in Monster Hunter. These ones tend to be a little bit big, so they're kind of cut off. But a Hunting Horn is an impact blunt force weapon like the hammer. It is very quick, and its mechanics center around playing notes, which you get from doing different attacks. And playing the notes results in a melody, which gives you buffs and gives your party of hunters buffs. And again, it's not a support weapon in that it is very aggressive and very stylish. There are a lot of quick combos and things like this capoeira style breakdancing move where the hits all chain together very fluidly. So if you play Hunting Horn, you're not just sitting in the back singing songs all day. You're getting in the monster's face and hitting it, and then occasionally popping songs in order to boost the entire status of the party. And it's a really, really neat weapon. This is what I mained in the base version of the game. Very cool. Next up, if you want the most complicated weapon in the game, in my opinion, the Charge Blade. This one, kind of like the Switch Axe, is a two-stage weapon. You have what kind of looks like a sword and shield. When it's sheathed, you can't really tell. But this big, bulky, kind of rectangular bit on the back is the shield, and the thing that's slotted into it is the sword. And it has a bunch of moves that generate charges and store energy. And then when you switch modes, kind of like the Switch Axe, you go into an axe mode that is basically used for high damage. So it kind of flips the script on the weapon dynamics. Switch axe goes from base axe mode for mobility into a sword mode for heavy damage. Charge blade starts with a sword and shield for mobility and speed, and then switches into a heavier axe mode for really high damage. In addition to that, there's a whole guard point and block parry system. It's a really neat weapon. I'll be messing around with Charge Blade eventually. I haven't touched this weapon in a few games, but it's a lot of fun. But this one's probably the most complicated weapon to learn in the game, but it is neat. If you like switching between different weapon forms like a switch axe, but also building in things like parries and all sorts of other mechanics that are going to boost the states of the shield and the sword and the axe. Charge Blade is fun. Next up, we have the Insect Glaive. This is a very different weapon from all the other ones. It is a twin-bladed long polearm type weapon, and it functions like a bladed staff. And it's very quick. Rapid hits, high mobility, and focus on aerial combat. You can use this thing to vault into the air and fly around like Spider-Man. In addition, because it's called the Insect Glaive, you have an actual bug buddy. He's perched here on my hunter's arm, called a Kinsect. And this weapon uses this Kinsect to fly out and attack the enemy. You can use your bugs as offensive weapons, and hitting different parts of targets gathers extracts, which your bug returns to you for a buff state on your hunter itself. So this one involves management of your bug resources and then keeping up with the enemy by high speed combos and flipping around through the air. So if you essentially want to be an airborne version of Spider-Man with a bug buddy, Insect Glaive is the weapon for you. It is a very fast weapon and not necessarily as complex as Charge Blade, but it is very cool. Truckchan says, sounds like multitasking. A little bit. I wouldn't say there's a whole lot to keep track of, since you get these buff states from the bug, and then they last for a certain amount of time, and then you just go to town wailing on the monster. Very fun weapon. I'll be building sets around this eventually. Next up, we have ranged weapons. If melee is not your thing in Monster Hunter, if you don't feel like getting right in the monster's face and smacking it with something, why not go for a bowgun? Light bowgun, as the name would suggest, is kind of rifle-esque in its design. All of them look kind of different. And this is a weapon that you use from a distance. Light bowgun focuses on mobility and rapid-fire shots. If you want to build for elemental damage, different guns have different ammunition that you load and take with you on a hunt. This one is a pierce weapon from a wyvern called Nargacuga, and it fires piercing shots through a target. It is meant for quick, rapid shots from a distance of ammo that pierces down the body of targets and does a lot of damage per hit. If you don't want to do that, you can gear towards a specific element. You want to shoot fire shots? Shoot fire shots. Build a fire gun. You want to build a gun that shoots giant explosives and just completely annihilates a target via the power of Michael Bay? You can do that. There are explosive sort of artillery rounds for the guns as well. Just depends on the style of play you want. The mobility aspects are nice if you want to run and gun. That's kind of the main gimmick for light bowguns. I prefer mobility. But if you want to be a tank, specifically a tank with heavy weapons, heavy bowgun is a cousin to the light bowgun. It is a much larger weapon, and its mobility is severely limited in that you're not running and gunning so much as planting, picking your shots, and firing off a lot of heavy artillery. So if you want to do more damage at the cost of being able to sort of dance around targets and just rain down fire upon the enemies, heavy bowgun is the weapon for you. You can also build in shields if you want to, again, become a tank and sit there and let stuff bounce off you while you light them up. Heavy bowgun. Fun weapon. I'll probably build something for this eventually. I've played this weapon a lot in other games. They've given it some neat tools in this one as well, in Sunbreak. And last but not least, if artillery-based weapons like the bowguns aren't your thing, you have a bow and arrow. Regular bow. Might be a little easier to see this one. This one uses a bow and arrow and does not have limited ammunition, but it uses a coding system to augment the abilities of your arrows. So you don't have to worry about running out of arrows like you do for bowgun shots, where you have to load your different ammunition. Bow is one of the most powerful weapons in the game, and that has not changed from the base version pre-expansion. The bow focuses around higher mobility and charging up shots using, kind of like the hammer, a charge level system to your arrows, which changes how they shoot at targets. In addition to that, you have a lot of abilities that get you in and out of danger and do things like up your charge rate, or the damage your charge shots do, or allow you to do cutting damage to different parts if you want to cut off tails. Bow is neat. It's a fun weapon. I played around a lot with this on the Switch version of Rise. Very strong. Some of the highest level, lowest time speed runs in Monster Hunter use this weapon. And it is pretty fun to play. And focuses on element as well, if you want to exploit elemental weaknesses. And basically be Robin Hood on crack. Pick up the bow. Well, that's a real quick rundown of just, at a distance, like 30,000 foot level, the 14 weapons of Monster Hunter. All of them are very different and very nuanced. And part of the draw of Monster Hunter is not only building your weapons, but also building your armor sets, which synergize skill-wise with your weapons. So you have a set for gun lance. You have a set for dual blades. All depending on what you want to factor into how you play. Which means you're going to be hunting a monster, get its bits in order to build that armor set for the weapon you want. And my lance set looks kind of garbage aesthetically. It's just why I use layered for it. But the whole idea of pretty much deciding how you want to play is one of the appeals of the game. That's why I like it so much. We still have quite a bit of things to look at and build. I'm going to be playing this game for a while. But that's part of the appeal. In addition, it's also really fun multiplayer. If you have friends that you know that play this game, you can jump on and cooperatively hunt, which is also a good time. Truckchan says, she's so complex, but I'm interested in the game now. Thanks for the rundown. If you have a Switch or a decent PC, there is a demo for Monster Hunter Rise. Should be on all platforms. I just tell people, pick up the demo and just mess around with it. They have a couple tutorial things that explain kind of the basics, but rather than, commit to buying a full game, just give it a try. I would say it's not the easiest game to just pick up and intuitively understand, but if you start from ground zero or have someone that knows the game kind of explain stuff to you, it's not super difficult to get into. It just takes a little bit of time to learn and figure out what kind of weapon suits your play style and what you like. But after that, it's just practicing and playing through it like any other game. But yeah, check the demo out. Just give it a try. Maybe look up some videos from the community explaining how the different weapons work. And then that's how you decide, okay, I really like how the gun lance plays, or I really like how longsword or greatsword plays. They're all very, very, very different. But you never know. So yeah, I always tell people, check out the demo. It's free. I was going to go here. In addition to hunter gear, since Truckchan asked earlier, there's a whole slew of equipment and gear to build for your companions. You want to put your cat in weird otherworldly demon gear, which also affects your cat's stats and abilities. You can do that. Or maybe you want like a Lion Knight type look. There's a whole cosmetic aspect to Monster Hunter as well, in addition to just the functional. So if you want a set for a certain ability and set of skills, but you want to look a certain way, there's a whole cosmetic system that you can unlock where you can make your characters, your hunter, your companions, you can make them look like however you want, which is a big draw for like the end game. You want to make a hunter and companions look cool, then that's something to work towards in the post game. Likewise for doggos. This is the Archdemon set. Here's the lion armor set that was on our cat. You want to give your dog kind of like a golden furred, almost Super Saiyan type look. Whole lot of options for aesthetics and abilities. So yeah, there you go. That is a really quick as in 10-minute explanation of Monster Hunter in a nutshell. Because it's one of my favorite games, I'm going to be streaming it off and on. Maybe not every single week. Usually what we do here on this channel is we do a mix of gaming, art, chill streams, and beatbox jam streams. So a little bit of everything. When I set my schedule each week, which goes up on Twitter, it'll tell folks that are tuning in what content I'm streaming for that week. So next week we should have a beatbox jam stream. We've been doing those every other week. And I haven't decided what else I'm doing, but as soon as I do, then the schedule will be up on Twitter. So feel free to follow me on there if you want to, one, keep track of when I'm streaming, and two, see all the other stuff I post. I know Truckchan is new, so I don't want to go into super advertising plug mode, but one thing I do on my streams is, with the chat, we get together and come up with ideas for BGM music tracks to use in content. None of them are playing right now because we're listening to Monster Hunter, but on other things I do, you'll hear tracks in the background of different songs that we create using beatbox tech, and we create those on stream with chat sometimes, and then they get posted online for other content creators to use for their content. So VTuber Truckchan, if you are also a streamer and need royalty-free background music tracks you want to use for your content, then that stuff is there for you to use free of charge and doesn't require any sort of attribution or anything like that. It is just free resources to use for my fellow streamers. So if that's something that interests you, all that stuff can also be found over on Twitter, since I post my music on Bandcamp and you can just download it for free. It'll ask you if you want to pay, just put 0 and you can download all the stuff that I've posted for free, and then you can use it for your content. I would just ask that you mention somewhere, if it's, YouTube videos, that I did the music, or if somebody asks. But other than that, I don't need to grant permission. There's no copyright or DMCA thing for that. It is just free stuff to use, and often created with the input from chat. So that is another thing we do here. Truckchan asks, wait, is this you beatboxing? What are you looking at? If you're looking at the other videos on my Twitch channel, like the archives, I think they're, I don't know, since those expire. If you're talking about the stuff on the archives, I don't even know what's there. Let me look. Where are my videos? Tells you how closely I monitor what's on my own. It's on my own channel. Truckchan says, I'm looking at Under the Ground at the moment. Yes, so all of the tracks that you see wherever you're looking at them, be they on Bandcamp, YouTube, whatnot, were all created using beatbox sounds and techniques and a device called a loop station. One thing we also do as part of the discussion for beatbox jam streams is talk about how a lot of beatbox tech works, and all of the BGM tracks that we create collectively with our two brain cells is done using a piece of hardware called an RC505 loop station that records the sounds I make and allows me to loop them into a song. And then that's what we turn into tracks that I record and then post up on the different places. Now, Under the Ground and Super Bossa Nova were two very early ones that were created before I got that tech. So they were actually created by hand, and I'm going to be remastering and redoing those soon. But everything aside from those two was created using my hardware and sounds from my face. Truckchon says you intimidate me in a good way. I'm not trying to go into super plug mode again. I don't like doing that. But when new people stop by and hang out and want to know what we do here on this channel, like what I'm about, then I try and be just kind of honest about what we do. And if you ever want to see what we've done in the past, the stream archives of everything I've done since the start of VTubing. I started on YouTube and switched to Twitch at the beginning of the year, but all the archives are on YouTube. In addition to that, you can find previews of all of the music and everything else, and funny clips and videos and random stuff. YouTube's kind of like my archive / non-Twitch related content place. So if you ever want to see stuff from the past, then it's all there, since Twitch deletes VODs after a certain amount of time. They expire. And so yeah, that is the probably not as quick and dirty as you would have liked, but there you go. That is a little bit about me and what we're about here. Alright, I'm gonna leave this here. We'll do a couple final checks and we'll get ready to sort of wrap up. Hey, Pulpers is here. What's up, Pink? Pink says, OMG, Truckchan, are you going to Isekai Raku? Hopefully not. I've got too much I want to do here. I don't want to be isekai'd off to another dimension. Truckchan says, nah, I'm having fun learning about you and your content, but in any case, I'll be sure to check out more later. Gotta bounce for now. Also, Whoppers, for now, Raku is safe. Alright, well, again, it was nice to meet you, Truckchan. Thanks for stopping by, and hopefully you enjoy your stay among the Space Bees. Pink, you happened to jump on right as we were wrapping up. But we can see if anyone I know is online. Is Wazzy live yet? I don't think she's live yet. I think she's live at 6 my time, or 5, maybe 5:30. I honestly don't know. Pink says, you have a good hunt. Yeah, it was good. We have built up some more weapons in Sword and Shield and Lance, and I started building stuff for Switch Axe. So that will be the focus probably of the next time. Do I relearn how to explain what's going on with this weapon? But let us see who from the homie list is online to raid, and then we'll wrap up. Oh, looks like Moo's online. Moo. Wonder how long they've been live. We'll go raid Moo. See what they're up to. So let me mute this. We'll go to outro. And I think that will do it for today. Thanks again for all the folks who stopped by and hung out while we hunted monsters and did some grinding. return to Rise Sunbreak in the future with more shenanigans. So until then, I will catch you folks later and hope you have a good evening. Let's go raid Moo.